Hello and thank you so much for actually watching my video. This video will be of help to you if you've got any sort of debts. I'm going to talk about some of the ways that you can actually try and get yourself out of debt and or even in the first instance to obviously initially reduce your debt. Now, if you've seen any of my other videos, you'll know that my channel is aimed predominantly at helping people. So if you're looking to move forward in life and you want some help and advice, please consider subscribing to my channel. Right, back to what I want to talk about. Now, debt. If we start off with credit card debt. Now, I'm going to start with this debt because this is the one that if I look back in my life, this was the one that initially crept up on me. It's very easy to obviously start spending more than what I was earning. Even though I was earning good money, I still somehow managed to get myself in debt. Now, the good news is I'm not the only one, and the other good news is you can get yourself out of it. And I did actually get myself out of credit card debt. The first thing you need to do, if you've got any sort of debt, any sort of debt, whether it's a catalogue debt, whether it's a credit card, whether any sort of debt at all, the first thing you need to do is accept that you've obviously got this problem, this bill that you've got to pay. Because I know, looking back on my life, it was very easy to keep putting the debts to one side, and you can't live like this. It will eventually it's going to catch up on you. What I done when I reached a stage, I'm going back quite a long while ago now, where I think at one stage I had about £18,000 on credit cards. It was I was doing up houses, buying things, and putting it on my card, and it kind of spiraled a little bit, yeah. But I eventually told myself, hold on a minute, I need to stop using these cards. What I actually done was, this is what I'm going to tell you. What I actually done was, I had 3 or 4 different cards. The first thing I actually done was, I looked at all my statements for all the different cards that I had, and I found the one that had the lowest interest rate. Yeah, the different cards that you have, some of them will be like 12, 14%, some of them will be 21%, 28%, 34%, some crazy amounts. So the first thing you need to do, because you ain't going to get out of this problem overnight. You're fooling yourself if you think you can. You're probably not. But what you can do is start reducing the debts. So the first thing I done was I found the card that I had the best rate on. I had the best rate on, and the other cards that I basically was using, which had higher rates, I stopped using them. That was the first thing I done. I stopped using the cards with the higher rates. And what I done was, when I was earning my money, I was paying off obviously I was paying off the debts on the higher cards with the higher APR, and just paying the minimum amount on my lower cards. Now, you're probably thinking this is obvious, mate. It might be, but guess what? It wasn't obvious to me at the time. It wasn't until I watched I think I watched something on telly, and the guy was talking about these different ways. And it was only because it hadn't occurred to me. This is the trouble. If we're busy and we're moving forward and we're racing, you're not always thinking about your finances. Well, this is what you need to do if you're going to get out of debt. That was the first thing I done. I basically was using the card with the lower rate. I stopped using the higher rate cards, and I gradually reduced my debt, because obviously the debts, without going into it, obviously I was now paying off more of the capital sum, and I wasn't paying so much interest. This was the first thing I done. The other thing I done, when I started looking into this more and understanding that I could obviously get out of this problem, because after all I was earning good money, there was no real reason why I should have been in debt. It was like it was just obviously I was spending money that I didn't have. It's very obviously, you're watching this video, you've obviously done what I've done. Yeah, it's very easy to spiral out of control. After I started doing what I was just talking about and using the card with the lower amount of money, what I done then was I started looking to the other cards that I had bigger amounts of money on. One of them I managed to transfer to another card, and if I'd done it, the woman actually I bumped into her I was actually in Southend-on-Sea working, and this girl was punting these cards, promoting these cards, and she said to me about a balance transfer, and I'd already been looking at ways of saving money, and basically I could transfer my debt to this other company, and I never had to pay no interest on that money for, I think it was 6 months. And they raised my limit, but that's another story. But suffice to say, I transferred, I think it was just under £2,000 across to this other credit card, and I never paid no interest on that card for about 6 months. But then obviously they then started writing to me. But I was saving money. So what I was doing now, I was still making the payments off of my other cards. Yeah. You've got to do this if you're serious about getting yourself out of trouble. Yeah. And obviously you are. That's why you're watching this video. Now, I'm not a financial advisor. I know I've actually done quite a lot of studying about that. I know obviously about different things, but suffice to say, what I started doing was looking at ways of saving money. That's what it comes down to. Yeah. So that was what I done. The other thing I done, what actually, if you like, didn't clear my debt, kind of, if you like, what's the word? I kind of paid it with using something else. What I actually done was I bought another house, and I remortgaged my house. But then when I remortgaged my house, I held back 7 grand, which I then used to pay off the rest of my cards. Yeah. Now there's two ways of looking at that. In the short term, it was a great idea because what I done was I took the money out of my house. So I had a mortgage. I still had a mortgage, but I think at the time I was paying about 4%. 4% actually on the capital amount of money that I borrowed. Yeah. But I used that money to pay off my credit cards where I was paying like 14%, 18%. Yeah. So in the short term, that was a good thing to do. But you need to remember, if you are going to do that, you don't want to make the mistake of taking a bit of money, or when you buy another house, borrowing a little bit more money at a lower mortgage rate and then paying off your credit cards. Yeah. And then thinking, oh, I haven't got any money on my credit cards now. You don't want to do that because it's tempting. Yeah. It's tempting. You don't want to be doing that. If you do remortgage and take a little bit of money out of your house, or you buy another house and you borrow a bit more money, that's good because you're borrowing it at a much cheaper rate. You're borrowing it at like I think the mortgage rate at the minute is about 2.5%. It's a ridiculously low level, yeah, compared to what you're paying on your credit card. But what you need to remember is the amount of money that you're paying, that amount of money that you're paying on your mortgage is for the term of the mortgage, yeah. So if you factor in the fact that you're going to be paying that extra money over the next 25 years, without working it out, I can tell you it's going to be more. All you're doing is you're deferring it. Yeah. Now the secret here, if you are going to do that, if you are going to borrow money, a bit more money to pay off your debts, but you've been paying £200 or £300 a month towards your credit cards, what you should really do, if you're clever, you say to yourself, right, I'm going to borrow another 7 grand, I'm going to pay off my credit card debt, but the £300 a month or £400 a month, whatever you've been paying off your credit card debt, you say to yourself, I am actually going to pay that off of my mortgage. That is a very clever thing to do. Yeah. That is a very clever thing to do. The biggest mistake I ever made was not from the offset getting a repayment mortgage. Yeah, I got talked into an endowment mortgage. Yeah, I don't believe that they're the way to go. Yeah, but for me, so basically, when I done this, you've got to look at it. When I actually borrowed this extra money, and I basically remortgaged my house to buy another house. I held back about, I think it was about 6 or 7 grand. So what I done was, I needn't have borrowed that money. I could have just borrowed what I needed and kept paying this credit card debt. But I thought, hold on a minute, I'm paying £300 a month. Another 7 grand a month on my mortgage was going to be about another 70 quid a month. It was a no-brainer, yeah. But the only way you will ever fall short if you do that is to then think, oh, I've got 3 credit cards in my pocket. I've got like 15 grand worth of credit. I can go and book an holiday. I can go and buy a new car. I can go and have fitted wardrobes. Yeah, and it's tempting. So I understand completely, but you just got to discipline yourself. Yeah, money. Having money is all about. It's all about being disciplined. Yeah. So that's what I would do with things like touching on other debts, things like credit cards and like catalogues and things like that. What I would do with those is exactly the same thing. Yeah, I would ring up and talk to the people. If you've got to a stage where you really are behind, but you know that you've got perhaps this plan ahead, this plan in the future to actually pay these debts off. If you're really clever, you would ring them up and say, look, I know I owe this, this £1,500, but I'm in debt, I'm out of work. Tell them all what's going on, and say to them, if I can manage to sort it, because a lot of them, all they want is their money back, or at least some of it. So you can even negotiate. Say, well, look, I'll tell you what I do. You can even say you're going to borrow the money off family. Yeah, but he can't lend me that full amount. There's ways around it. You've got to negotiate, because if they've made the mistake of letting you obviously build this debt up, they obviously want to get as much of their money back as possible, but sometimes they'll be happy with half of it or 2/3 of it. So again, if you were really clever and you owed X amount of money, you could say, well, look, if I can get you that, can we? And they might say, well, yeah, if you do that, get it in writing, make them email you with an offer of settlement, and then when you've got these different offers of settlement that they will accept, even though it ain't the full amount, then you remortgage and you borrow money, or you do something. You go and see a financial advisor, because then you're going to save even more money. Yeah. So that's about getting out of debt. That's about with cards, loans, things like that. The other thing, I'm going to do another video on this about actually saving money. Because if you think about it, with money, most people in life, we all try and earn more money. My other videos on my channel, I'm trying to earn more money. I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do that. But there's 2 ways you actually have more money in your pocket. And it's taken me 50 years, if you like, to realise this. And that is, you can either save money, right? You can either save money, which means that when you earn it, you don't let anyone part you from it. You don't spend it on something which you don't really need. You don't buy the latest phone. You don't buy the latest car. Yeah? Or you earn more money. But whatever you do, if you're in debt, you need to do all the things that I spoke about at the start. Looking for the different rates and doing that. But you should also be looking, hold on a minute, I am going to save money as much as I can. Yeah, it could be something as simple as going to a different place to get your shopping. I'm going to do a video about this as well, because my shopping habits now have completely changed. I'm not going to name no chains that I don't go to, but I'm going to talk about where I do go. Yeah, and it's made a big difference. Yeah, because if you're saving money, If you can save 30, 40 pound a week on your shopping, yeah. If you think, hold on a minute, 40 pound, to have 40 pound in your pocket, you've got to earn 50 anyway if you pay income tax. So you're actually saving more. It's how you look at it, yeah. And if you do 50 quid a week, if you save 50 quid a week over a month, that's 200 pound. Do it over a year, you saved yourself 2,400 pound. That's an holiday, yeah. All because you chose to shop somewhere else. But I'm not going to go into that in this video too much. How to save money. Look at where your money is going. This is something now which I still struggle with, right? Sometimes I say to my wife now, even though I have started looking, I've started looking more at where it's going, but you can't obviously equate for every penny that you spend. But look to where your money is going, yeah? Because you'll be amazed if you start writing down where your money actually goes, yeah? Takeaways, you know, subscriptions to different things. You know, there's so much cigarette. I mean, unfortunately, I don't smoke and I hardly ever drink. But like, you know, people who smoke cigarettes, you know, look to ways of, you know, reducing. You know, do it for your health as well. But that's not what this video is about. You just need to really open your eyes to the possibility that you can get out of this shit, right? Because I was in it, like I said, I'm going back quite a long while ago. I literally, fortunately, I had property, but I had debts on cards, and I kind of like, you know, I had to. It took me, I think it was just under 20 grand. It took me like a while to think, hold on a minute, I've got to sort this out. Do you know what I mean? I've got to sort this out. And all it was, I was earning, like I say, I was earning good money. I even had properties. I was earning, you know, I was doing quite well. But what it was, I wasn't making the most of what I had. And that is the secret, yeah? That is the secret. If you're earning pretty good money, you should be safe. You know, that's what I'm going to get at my next thing. Even if you're earning good money, you've still got to try and save money and still look at your money as being precious. I can think back to years ago when I first started doing architecture. I was a draftsman for years. And I can remember one of the guys in our office. He wasn't actually a director, but he was like an associate. But he was high up. He had a beautiful BMW, beautiful wife, you know, beautiful life, latest suits. And it always amazed me because even though we never knew what he earned, we all knew he earned a lot of money. But he was always moaning that he never had done. He was always moaning, but when you got to know him, because he'd become a good friend of mine, he was going on holidays. His missus was going having massages and makeovers, and you know what I mean. That man, he could have earned 200 grand a year. He still wouldn't have had no money because it was either his attitude or his wife's attitude towards money was that he'll just earn more. And this is the mistake that a lot of people make. Yeah, I understand there's probably a lot of people watching this video who don't even earn a lot of money. I don't earn fortunes, but we need to understand that whatever money we do earn, you know, I said to my son the other day, he was going to go and buy he likes all the shirts, the latest shirts, Ralph Lauren, and you know, he's got an Armani watch, and and I say to him, I say, mate, are you sure you want to? You know, are you sure you want to do that? Oh, I like it, Dad. I said, well, okay. I said, as long as you know. But I have told him, he knows. All what I'm talking about in my video now, I have actually put it to him. You know, I mean, he turned around, he says to me, oh, Dad, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I like nice things. I said, well, okay, mate, that's fair enough. But I said to him, as long as you know that if you spend that money, it's gone. You're never going to get that money back again. Yeah, you'll earn more money, but you're never going to see that again. And he understands. Yeah, I don't want him to be. I don't want him to be squeaky because I've never been like that. You know, I mean, obviously I want to enjoy life, but I kind of try and say to him. I'm trying to think the book I read. There's a book. It's well worth searching on YouTube. You can actually listen to it on Audible for free. If someone's actually done it a YouTube video, and it's called The Richest Man in Babylon. And without going into the whole book, it talks about this guy. He becomes the richest man in Babylon, and when this guy actually asked him how he became rich, he basically said, I don't know what the currency was back then in ancient Egypt or wherever it was. He basically said that every time he earned, and I'll use today's currency, every time he earned £10, he paid himself £1. Yeah, he actually paid himself first. And if you think about it, this is something that we don't do. How many times do you pay your electricity bill or your gas bill or your TV bill, your phone bill, your daughter's phone bill, whatever you're paying? Do you ever actually say to yourself, hold on a minute, I'm going to pay myself? Because this is how we need to start thinking. Effectively, you're saving your money. But we neglect it, we put it off. But if only we was to say to ourselves, we're going to do that first. That is most important. That is my future. That's my children's future. Yeah. Then if we could get this in our mind and change our mindset, then hopefully we will. We're going to be better off in the future. It's something I'm doing now. My situation now. I'm working. I'm not doing fantastic at the minute in my job. But I said to my wife the other day. I said, whenever it happens, because I will. I said to her, I will turn it around. Things will start getting better. I said to her, I'm going to start, being a bit more shrewder. We need to be a little bit more careful. Yeah. Why is it that some people have got money and others ain't? It's not always because they earn fantastic amounts of money. Sometimes it's because, and I honestly believe this, it's because some of them, they don't waste it. They don't spend it on, on things they don't need, and they invest it. Yeah, they haven't got these credit cards. They haven't got these catalogue bills. We need to stay away from them. Yeah, someone close to me recently, they got a, I think it was a settee or from one of these shops where you pay like so much a week. And I said to my wife, I said, yeah, okay, I understand she's got it and she wants it, but she's paying double for it. She's going to pay double. Yeah, it's ludicrous. But I've done it. I've done it myself. If you need something, obviously, you often make decisions based on immediate needs, but we need to start looking at ways of we need to start thinking more about our money, more about ways of um, being more clever with the money that we have got or with the bills that we owe, with the credit cards and different things. And then if we do make a saving, and you will, if you actually do what I said, there's no way that there's no you could not save money if you do what I've told you, right? But if you then think, oh, I've got £200 to spend on that, then obviously you ain't going to benefit and that's why some people can never get out of debt because they cannot discipline themselves to actually do what I've been talking about. The best thing that ever happened to me was when I basically decided I wasn't going to use credit cards no more. All I've got now is a debit card. I just thought I'm not using. I haven't even got a credit card now that I could use if I needed to use it because I don't want it. Yeah, I don't want it because I've been stung in the past. Yeah. The other thing, very briefly, it goes without saying, if you have had cards or loans and like you've perhaps been talked into having obviously payment protection insurance if you fall out of work and things like that, look into that. My brother recently done that. Well, I say recently, about 2 or 3 years ago, and he got paid out just under £4,000. He actually got paid out where he'd been sold something which he never asked for. He was self-employed. You know what I mean? He never. But anyway, I'm going to end it there because it's gone on a bit. But yeah, please, make sure you look at your finances. Look at every bean. Yeah. Please I'd really appreciate it if you like this video. If you think this helps you, if you think this inspires you to actually try and do something, then I appreciate it. Please, please subscribe. I'm trying to get my subscribers up, and I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe. Please leave a comment. If you've got any questions, I'll always try and answer. I mean, I'm not a financial advisor. I can only talk about my life and about what I've tried done, but I'll always try and answer your questions and help you in any way I can. Yeah, and please check out some of my other videos. All my videos are based on, I say all of them, most of them are based on personal development, trying to help you move forward in your life. If you're like me and you're self-employed, working class, you know, we're in the what is it, we're in the 95% as opposed to the 5% elite. Then some of my videos might help you. If they don't always give you perhaps what you're looking for, they will always inspire you. Yeah, and I encourage you, if you are perhaps in a situation where you want to move forward but you don't know how to, because not everyone knows about personal development. You need to consider spending some of your time, perhaps a half hour an hour a day, of reading about ways of bettering yourself, about learning about ways of moving forward, learning different ways of becoming the person that you can be. And a lot of people say they haven't got the time. Yeah, they haven't got the time to sit and watch videos. They haven't got the time to read books. Yeah, you need to realise that if you can find a little bit of time to start doing these things, you won't have to work so hard anyway, which will give you more free time. Yeah. One thing that you can do, especially if you drive a lot, is start using Audible. Start downloading and do it for Amazon, where like you can actually listen to books. People now, you can educate yourself now on a drive to work. So when people say to me, "I haven't got the time. I haven't got the time to do this. I haven't got the time to do that." Well, you haven't got the time, but you've got the time to spend 3 hours on 3 hours on Facebook a day, but you haven't got the time to learn something constructive that's going to help you and help your family. To me, I do sometimes. I think it's pitiful because people moan and moan and moan. They ain't got no money, and obviously they're in the shit, and they've got to try and do this and do that. But we need to, this is me. I ain't. I'm no like I ain't. Even now, I'm trying to do more. Even if I won the lottery tomorrow, I'd still try and do so. I'd still try and become more and do more. Because the alternative is, what's the alternative? The alternative is you stand still and you do nothing. Yeah, you're stationary, and God forbid you end up going backwards. Please please subscribe. Yeah, and please try and implement some of these things. And if you do start implementing some of these things and you do save money, I'd really like to hear your story, because I like the idea of normal people getting on in life as opposed to the magnificent rich. Yeah, please subscribe, please give us a thumbs up and comment. Thank you so much for watching my video.